My name is Belinda Mason, and I wish to acknowledge the traditional owners of the land on which we meet, the Gadigal people of the Eora Nation, and I also wish to acknowledge the First Nation people who have been the guides during my life, and they are Uncle Colin Wadago, who's on the MUTTI board, Uncle Merv Bishop, who served to be my mentor as a young photographer, and of course the family that I grew up with in Adelaide, who lived around the corner for us and absolutely shaped me, which was Nurrunjeri Elder Gail Rankin, who is the traditional owner, whose family are the traditional owners on the land on which I was born. And of course, Auntie Dixie Link Gordon, who, like me, came to Gadigal country to both live and work. I'm the creative director of MUTTI, and we're a charitable organisation that uses art as a platform to break down the echo chambers and the silos that prevent human rights from being seen as intersectional. Originally launched in March 2025 in New York, this exhibition was a part of the NGO Forum at the United Nations Commission on the Status of Women. This compelling exhibition showcases the creative works of over 30 artists from remote regional and urban communities across New South Wales who've experienced homelessness. Their artworks speak directly to the lived realities of women who identify as being First Nations, LGBTQIA, culturally and linguistically diverse, and or having disability. They highlight the complex and often hidden pathways into homelessness and the urgent need for systemic change. The artists have co-created their work through the MUTTI Unseen Arts Hub in collaboration with local artists, service providers and community members. They've used painting, photography, textiles, mixed media, and they are reclaiming the public space to reshape narratives about women's homelessness in Australia. The Unseen Arts Hub toured regional New South Wales since 2021 and has activated in towns with workshops, exhibition and performances, working with local artists as well as the core women who are a part of the Touring Arts Hub. And that is why we are here today, because we're bringing you the work that they have been sharing across New South Wales and internationally. It's not just about visibility, it's about understanding. And the stories shared through these works are deeply personal and public and politically urgent. By inviting audiences to these lived experiences, we can create a space for empathy, connection, and ultimately action. I'd very much like to introduce you to Dixie Link Gordon. We've been working together for quite a while now, and she's been a very strong and powerful influence in guiding the work that I do. Auntie Dixie.
Thank you, Belinda, the work we do. And what can I say? It was a great turnout here today to share with our exhibition of what the diversity and the beauty that we have here in Australia, of our peoples having a voice, being able to celebrate it in all the different ways what we do. Not everybody can sit down and write a big academic book about what trauma looks like, how it unpans anywhere in this country. But you know what? We can get up there and maybe put something on a canvas and, you know, draw a little bit of something, and that's an expression of where we are. And us to have the freedom to be able to do that and get investment in that our stories are real, and they are real Australian stories. And I just want to put that out there because, you know, this country does care. We've seen that on the weekend. Homelessness is real. It's happening to our women, our children, also here. And someone said this, a friend of mine said this great saying, we were having a yarn. He heads up Tribal Warrior, Shane Phillips, and he said, or brother boy I should say, he said, you know what, we've got to take care of our little patch in the world, Dixie. And you know what, I believe that. And I think that when we can show that we're responding in whatever fashion it is to show that homelessness, abuse is not good enough. And if we can do it in an art form, bring it here to Parliament House, have Parliament House members come here and check it out and see, well, yeah, these are real voices. This is what real Australia's, or real New South Wales, whatever you want to say, people. are talking about. So I just wanted to acknowledge that, and I acknowledge that we all learn differently. We all bring our stories out differently. And for us to be able to come and express that is a really important thing. And, Belinda, it's been just the best journey with you, sis. I will definitely say that, and all the people that have been involved on it. So thank you for coming. Enjoy, absorb, and, maybe walk out this door today and think, you know what, I can do a little something different. So thank you very much.
Now I'd like to introduce you to the person who has actually supported this in getting it into Parliament House, Alex Greenwich, MP.
Hello friends, it is wonderful to be here with you on Gadigal land at the New South Wales Parliament, and thank you Auntie Dixie for the welcoming comments today. Thank you to Belinda for your amazing leadership. All I have done as a member for Sydney is help sponsor this event be here today. You have led the way. A big round of applause for Belinda, her leadership and her drive. I'd also like to thank and acknowledge our Minister, the Minister for Women and the Prevention of Domestic Violence, Jodie Harrison. Thank you for being here today and all your strong support and leadership in this space as well. So, MUTTI, the Museum of Understanding Through Tolerance and Inclusion, today presents to you Unseen, a work that has been shared at a series of works and a presentation that has been shared at the United Nations on the Commission on the Status of Women in New York. These are really powerful and thought-provoking pieces of art, stories, poems, craft, and they are being displayed in exactly the right place, the New South Wales Parliament, the place that makes decisions that in many cases could have led to the trauma that was experienced by some of the artists, and indeed the place that can help provide solutions and funding to prevent other people from experiencing that same trauma and that same neglect. So the power of storytelling, we know, makes a difference, and that's what every one of these artworks is doing here today. I started my day at the Wayside Chapel having a shower to bring attention to their fundraising call, and we know that women across Sydney in places like the Wayside and places like Lou's Place go to have a shower. They could be sleeping rough, they could be living in their cars, they go to work. They look after their kids, they look after their families, they're carers for their parents. And these are the unseen stories that are on display here today. The artworks are so powerful. It is so wonderful to see so many familiar faces and friends here. There is no more important exhibit at this time, I think, to be shown in the New South Wales Parliament than the powerful stories that are displayed through this artwork. It's going to really make a lot of my colleagues stop and think, and I hope join forces to advocate for better funding, better supports, better laws when it comes to the protection of women from domestic violence and other forms of abuse. I thank the entire board of MUTTI. I thank Annie from my office for her work as well in putting today on. And I really appreciate the diversity. We have artists who are from non-English speaking backgrounds. We have artists from the LGBT community. We have artists who are people who are living with disability. We have a number of First Nations artists. We have injecting drug users and other drug users who are artists, and they are sharing their powerful stories. So Belinda and MUTTI, thank you for this gift to the New South Wales Parliament that this exhibit is. And I look forward to continuing to talk with my colleagues to make sure they stop, think, scan the QR codes and give feedback, which I know I've been asked to do already a number of times today. Yes, and as a member for Sydney, I just thank all of you. It is my privilege to work with all of you in this space. And as I said, thank you for this gift to the Parliament that this powerful exhibit is. Thank you.
Thank you, Alex. I'd like to not only thank Alex, but the Women's Electoral Lobby and the service providers who've made this happen today as well. DV New South Wales, Mission Australia, Homelessness New South Wales, Bonnie's Support Services, and corporates like Code Green, Neeram Productions and HDSA. And also, of course, I want to acknowledge Zenny Edwards, who's here, who is on our board. So thank you very much, Zenny, for your incredible support of the women, especially in the trip to New York. But everybody's very grateful. I'd like to introduce you to Jane Bullen from Women's Electoral Lobby, because the name, I can't say that I named the project. It was Jane who named the project after a discussion when she was giving me, giving and guiding me about the early beginnings of this project. Jane Bullen.
Thank you, Belinda. I would like also to acknowledge that today we're on Gadigal land, never ceded. So, in late 2019, this project goes back a while, the Women's Electoral Lobby in New South Wales held a panel discussion on homelessness among women, and we decided to campaign specifically on women's housing and homelessness during the next year. And Unseen started as part of this campaign. This happened in the context of sharp rises in homelessness among women, which have continued. Quite sharp rises in homelessness among women coming from service providers this year. Well, established in 1972, is a non-profit, member-driven, independent, non-party political lobby group dedicated to creating a society where women's participation and our ability to fulfil our potential are unrestricted, acknowledged and respected, and where everyone shares equally in society's responsibilities and resources. Around the time that we decided to campaign on housing and homelessness, I'd heard about a project by Scottish Women's Aid which used photography and enabled women who had experienced domestic violence to share information about issues affecting them and barriers in rebuilding their lives. Women who participated in this project met with Scottish Government representatives and they called on the government to prevent women and children's homelessness as a result of domestic violence. And violence against women, as you may know, is the major single contributor to homelessness, all homelessness in Australia today. I found the Scottish project inspiring and a different way to provide a forum for women to speak of their experiences through creativity and to raise these issues with governments. One of the Women's Electoral Lobby members, Jenny Muir, who may be here somewhere today, put me in touch with Belinda Mason, who is an award-winning photographer, social documentarian and human rights advocate, and now a PhD candidate, and goodness knows what else in the meantime. And Belinda was keen to partner with Well on the project, which was wonderful. The project, as we have done it, is a little different to the Scottish project, but the philosophy is similar in many ways. I suggested naming the project Unseen because of the unseen nature of many women's homelessness. Women who become homeless often manage their homelessness themselves, and they are more likely to do so than men. Rather than approaching services or visibly sleeping rough, many women instead stay temporarily with family or friends or acquaintances, or stay in severely overcrowded dwelling, sleep rough in less visible location, sleep in their cars, disguise their homelessness if they're visible, or they stay in unsafe and violent situations where they are essentially homeless because they don't have a safe home. Women's greater hidden homelessness means women's experiences of homelessness are disregarded in proportion to how frequently it happens. And it could be expected to result in a failure to understand the nature and scale of women's homelessness. Women often report avoiding services because the pathways to get help are few and the services may be unable to meet their needs. And there may be no housing at the end of it, as we all know. The word unseen reflects that there's a responsibility on the part of government and the community more generally to see, to notice, to recognise women's homelessness and to act on it. Women's electoral lobby was successful in getting a grant from the City of Sydney Council to partner with Belinda on the project in Sydney during 2021. 2021? Yeah. I wrote that and then I thought, is that right? Unseen had multiple activations in the City of Sydney during that year, and the project connected with many people as participants, volunteers and audiences. Since then, the Unseen Mobile Arts Hub has been successful in obtaining funding for multiple additional activities, as some described by Belinda and some you'll be able to understand by looking at the wall, and some are not described at all. It's been all over the place. Well had strongly supported the expansion of the Mobile Unseen Arts Hub, but has not been actively involved. Belinda and I had originally intended to hold an Unseen exhibition here in Parliament House in 2021, but it was deferred because of COVID and other reasons. It's really exciting to see this exhibition finally happening, and it's an amazing exhibition. I thank Belinda and all the wonderful women artists who've created Unseen and everyone who's contributed to bringing this to fruition. I hope that people enjoy seeing this amazing art and that this exhibition brings the message about housing and homelessness among women to parliamentarians and others, and that this leads to some real change. Thank you.
Thank you, Jane. When we are seeking to change human rights, it's really important that we have allies in that process, and who can't be forgotten and who must are those men in our lives who actually support what we do and are there beside us, helping us through. Because without them, we wouldn't be able to move in our rights if we don't collaborate together to work at the same objective. So I'd like to introduce you to Dita Neeram, who has been a part of many of the projects, working with many of the women, and in other projects that MUTTI runs, which have other topics of social justice, to speak as an ally. Dita Neeram.
Hi everyone, I'm Dita Neeram. I've been a volunteer for MUTTI for many years, being exposed to it because Belinda is my mother, and I'm very proud to actually have her as my mother, to enable me to see the incredible stories that these women have. Sorry, I'm very nervous. I've been a volunteer and I offer my skills as a film producer as well as IT specialist, helping run all the back-end stuff to ensure things can actually run and work. What started out as just helping hand became more meaningful, a way to contribute to some real lasting change. Being part of MUTTI opened my eyes to how deep, unheard the experiences of women, particularly women with disabilities, First Nations, and those facing homelessness really are. They aren't just the statistics in the headlines. They are real people, many of whom I now call friends, whose stories deserve to be seen and heard. If we want a world to be more equal, men need to step up into the women's movement. Not to lead, but to support them It's not about speaking over women or trying to be the hero. It's about standing alongside them, listening, showing up, and calling out injustices, even when it's uncomfortable. I've helped bring the exhibition to regional towns throughout Australia with issues like domestic violence, racism, and where we've gone to remote communities talking about domestic violence and racism, which are often left unspoken. I've seen women share their powerful truths through art, truths that challenge and inspire. These movements leave a mark. They have changed how I move through the world and what I stand for. Unseen, I'm here to plug in the lights, carry the gear, set up the tents, drive the vans, drive the cars, film and photograph whatever I can, lending my hand in any way possible that I am able to do. Men have roles in these movements, but only if we are earned that trust through our actions. That starts by acknowledging the systems that have benefited me and working with them to bring them down to ensure there is true equality within Australia and the world. Thank you.
And after that beautiful speech by my son, it was very hard not to cry. I just want to also acknowledge Truth. Truth, if you could just come here for a minute. So, Truth has been with MUTTI for about 2 years now.
Yeah, thereabout.
Yep, and he has been also travelling with us, helping us out along the way. He is going to be the producer of the play that we just got some seed funding from the City of Sydney for, and it's a play about Laney's life. And the play we hope to be able to take to London in a very small form, along with this exhibition next October. Now, I've left the powerful stories of the participants till last because I feel it's very important that you meet them and hear for yourselves their story. The first person that I wish to introduce you to is Evie, our poet, who will share one of her amazing poems with us.
Hi, I'm Evie, and I'm the homeless girl. Yes, I am dating your brother. Yes, I work 2 jobs. Yes, I'm a mother, a friend, a sister, a daughter, a teacher. You work with women like me. I'm also an artist and foundational member of the Unseen Women's Artist Group. I use my creative practice as a poet to raise social cohesion and improve public awareness for women who feel isolated and alone. The photograph you see behind Belinda here was taken the day she met me. Sitting in my favourite local coffee shop, I shared my story with her, and she captured this photograph of me wearing my Grandy Joys necklace. I carry her legacy on today, and the legacy of the 3 grandmothers that I had, who didn't get the chance to live the freedom that I have now fought with every ounce of my strength to grasp. I'm sure you've wondered why we don't leave those men. Where on earth do we leave to? And what happens after that place and the next and the one after that? For me, it's been 12 places in 12 years. This is my story, and I will not pretty it up for you. I will not sugarcoat it or hide it just to make you feel comfortable. My life is uncomfortable, and I am tired. I am tired of searching for a place to call home. So hi, I'm Evie. I'm the homeless girl. I'm the battered woman. I am that woman. I am the woman that stayed and tried to change him. I am the woman who believed the apologies and hoped and fought for that change. I am the woman who dreamt of leaving but never could. I am the woman that dreamt of a rescuer saving me. I am still that woman. This is my story, all of it. But I am also brave. I am also able. I put one foot in front of the other and I'm walking a long road to freedom. I provide for my own. I am a mother. I am that woman and I am this one. They are not 2 separate stories or 2 separate people. They are intertwined, they're entangled. It's freedom and courage. Nevertheless, she persisted, so I will persist. This is my story, all of it. I am this woman, I am Evie, and this story is mine. As a community services and mental health teacher, I teach these stories of recovery, of advocacy, of justice, of transformation, of metamorphosis, of what could be, of what will be, of eyes that encounter hope and people who choose to live again when they thought it was all over, of purpose found and lives rebuilt, and love and wonder and beauty, and the joy of life encountered after the darkest night ends. I tell stories in four walls, and sometimes I don't feel like I can change the world, but I can tell you a story. And that story will be heard today by a ripple through each little wonder sitting in this room. And those stories and those ripples become big oceans, and that ocean, I promise, will change the world. Stories will change the world. We will change the world. So tell your stories. Tell your stories. The last few years, it has been my immense privilege to walk alongside the women of Unseen and Breaking Silent Codes as we battle against injustice, find our own voices, rebuild our lives and speak hope into community. There are many moments I have felt deep in my soul that I could not continue this journey, but they have held me and given me hope in the darkest of days. We have laughed together, cried together, and also survived the Manhattan fog together. This poem is a tribute to the women of Unseen and Breaking Silent Codes, and to all the women who have gone before us to give us what we have today and moulded us into who we are. Praise be unto you. Praise be unto you, for here you are living despite it all. Here you are breathing, some days gasping, some days barely held alive by a respirator. It's a person who breathes for you, yet here you are. Praise be unto you, for the darkness has not overcome you. The system has not engulfed you. The flames have not swallowed you. Praise be unto you who ran out of the fire, saving your child, and now returned with buckets of water to save those who are still on fire inside. Praise be unto you, my mother, my grandmother, who made every day of your living hell a memory and adventure for these little ones. A tower of strength, a lifetime of laughter, a table with food, a warm embrace. Praise be unto you all who sacrificed to make life lighter for those who come after you, who I stand on the shoulders of and who moulded me into who I am today. Today we stand in awe of all these women. Your tenacity and courage deserve to be celebrated and recognised. Now may we all find rest, may we find home, may we find love, and may light always find you, even when you feel the sun will never rise. Today you have captured our gaze and you are something to hold. So everyone, please stand and join me. Praise be unto these queens here. Thank you.
I'd like to introduce you to Peter Link. This is Dixie's sister, and I feel my sister too.
Thank you.
Are you ready? No? Not yet. Do you want me to do Kelly?
Yeah, do Kel first.
Okay.
Yeah.
Slight change of plans. Come on, Kelly. Kelly is actually a participant from Western Australia. So the Unseen Women's Artist Group has actually become quite a large group of women from across Australia. And I just wanted to introduce you to Kelly. Here she is.
Thank you. Thank you everyone for being here. I was just going to keep it very short. As a biracial woman with an invisible disability, traumatic brain injury, I now function with multi-sensory integration between vision, touch and hearing, which I've expressed through my art piece. I've used my artwork to open the parts of me that have stayed hidden and have not been given agency to be seen or supported safely, which led into being made homeless after I had a stroke. Through my artwork, I raise testimonial justice for hope of creating preventative pathways for systemic changes to have an immediate presence. Thank you.
Better be careful who I pick for the next one so it's not too much of a shock. Rochelle.
Hello everyone. Firstly, I'd like to say thank you so much for coming to this wonderful event. It's really special and I do appreciate everyone here, so thank you. I'm just proud to be here on Gadigal land of the Eora Nation. I'm a proud Ngamba woman and I'd like to tell you about my artwork. So my artwork is actually called Unseen. It's the white piece over yonder and it's called Unseen. The reason why it's called Unseen is if you look at it, you can see thousands and thousands of people that I've dotted on the canvas. They are seen. I am unseen. If you notice on the canvas, you will see one black dot, one special black dot. That is me. I've also been called a mistake. So, I, as a child, went through hell. I used to leave my body because I was unseen, and I actually still do it today. So I'm a survivor. I'm a survivor of a very dysfunctional family. I'm a survivor of abuse. I'm a survivor of all forms of abuse: spiritual, mental, physical, sexual, bestiality, and child pornography. I've actually moved over 45 times now, and I'm still not happy. So once again, I'd like to take this opportunity to say thank you to everyone for listening to me. I'm able to speak now, and I'm here to be seen. Thank you.
I just want to give a footnote to Rochelle's story. She is an amazing mother who's raised two amazing children who've gone on to university and work within the health and social work sectors. So she's got a lot to be proud of in her life. Here's Peter.
Thank you, Belinda. Hi, and thank you for everybody for turning out. And I'd just like to acknowledge the Gadigal people of the country, Eora people of the country in which we meet today. Okay, slow down, Peter. I just have my calming ointment, so I should be okay. Anywho, yeah, I relocated from Queensland about 5 years ago, at the end of 2019, due to a huge, significant incident that happened up there with my daughter, who was, she was actually raped. It was a big impact on my little family, on my extended family, on how I go about moving through life. Okay, and so that brought me to Sydney, with to my two big sisters, Dixie and Sonia. Dixie introduced me to Belinda, and here I am. Today, I'm an award-winning artist. I'm a practicing art therapist. I am also a family caseworker and outreach worker at Bondi Support Services, in which I work there 4 days a week, helping women who have experienced DV and homelessness. Yeah. And so there's a little plug for Bonnies. Yeah, I really enjoy like working at the service. Through Bonnies, I do Auntie Bonnie's program, like art therapy, sit with the women, and we all just join together and just yarn about life, not about what's going on. Just be present, and all that mindfulness, that sort of way. And I also do the program Shark Cage, and this is about teaching our women about boundaries, about positive relationships, about human rights, you know. Yeah, and I really enjoy doing both programs there also. Doing Shark Cage can be a little bit taxing, as like being a survivor myself, it can like trigger outside. But that's okay because I got the segue to Auntie Bonnie's art program into that, and so that's part of my self-healing and all that sort of business too. Yeah, and so I just want to thank you for coming, and thank you to Dixie and Sonia, Belinda. I love you. Yeah.
And now, a few words from Jay Giroux.
One of my disadvantages is height. My name is Jay. My name is Jay. One of my disabilities is deafness. My banner is titled Pieces of Me, and it's on the far side, and it represents the journey I have, and I continue to be on. There are layers that contributed to my homelessness and housing insecurity, things like family traumas and mental illness, but it also looks at what keeps me moving forward in life and also my identity. Contributing to this project here has brought personal healing and growth that therapy just can't do. Things like the human connection, that authentic relational stuff that you can get with your peers. And speaking out about women's homelessness and the complex intersectionalities that that's represented has been more than empowering. Our voices, my voice through the arts, demonstrates the knowledge and capacity that we have to be the drivers of change in our own lives. When community, that's all of you guys, government and other leaders take the time to sit here with our stories, as you guys are all doing right now, and you sit and listen and learn from our lived experience, then the testimonial justice is given to the unseen. Thank you.
And now Monique Wiseman, who has been fundamental in supporting Unseen in being able to get its funding to be able to run. So can't thank you enough, Mon. And also just for being wonderful, Mon.
What an intro. Yeah, thank you for everyone being here, and I'd also like to acknowledge the land of which we meet, the Gadigal people of the Eora Nation. I guess my art piece is over there, and I think it's from seeing a few faces that I haven't seen for some time around the room. Yeah, you never know whose story is what, but of a life that's been lived by myself that has now been in the homelessness space for a couple of decades, and that might be showing my my age, but nevertheless, you never know from someone's story about where they come today. I'm proud to acknowledge all of these women and their stories, but also for each and every one of you here today, because homelessness is everybody's problem, it's everybody's issue, and the only way we can change that is being in this space and changing it for once and for all. No one should live in that space, and everyone should have a right to a home. Thank you.
I'd like to introduce Fiona Arnold.
What can I say?
Dita's got to record it.
Hey, Dita. What can I say? This is called community. I'm so proud today I want you to picture a car, a silver car, chrome. I want you to picture a tiny house going down the highway with us in it, and the art, the story, the adventure. Just picture it. If we were talked about on the highway, everywhere we pulled up, we were talked about, that the message was about homelessness. Imagine going into Wagga and seeing the car, the house, and us. Thanks, Dita. So I want you to come on that adventure, because it's not only been Sydney, Martin Place, Circular Quay, Parramatta. We've been out there too. So to take you on that journey is to take you on a journey of meeting the communities. For me, walk a mile in my shoes, it was huge, more than I expected. And what it was, which I didn't know was happening, was a public forum in the street, not in Parliament. It happened with people I'll never meet again. The conversation that happened when we'd arrive, get the art out, do it, some of it was really hard and sad. The public debate, we can do it, people. We can have this conversation. And you can move mountains with art, and this is what this is about. So thanks for coming on the journey. Well done, well done. I'll go to DT.
Now, in our travels, we've managed to second women along the way, and one of those women is Susan Cole. So Susan came to the Unseen Arts Hub along with 4 other women from Albury to share their stories. Their stories are on the walls, but Susan is representing those women.
Hello. Yep, I'm one of the women that saw the silver car and the silver house and thought, oh, okay. At the time, I was still trying to process. I'd just come back from London. My long-term partner had developed psychosis, and she'd put me out on the street with $2.50. So I got a lot of help from people. The bank helped me. I was allowed to use their phone to call for help. I was allowed to use the internet at the library. I got the last repatriation flight back after COVID. I got help from the government to get on that flight. So I got home, was with Mum and Dad. We'd built a little flat on the side of their house, and she had a heart attack and had to go into care and then died. So the house had to be sold. So then I was part of the unseen homelessness. From a very small country town, there is very few rental opportunities, and when you're renting, there's no security. And I'm still trying to process everything that happened. It is absolutely terrifying, suddenly finding yourself out in the open, completely vulnerable. What are you actually going to do? And it's not something that you really know how it feels until it actually happens. Then there's the long-term, anxiety. What will happen? Because I'm currently I board with a very nice young man who has a congenital brain defect that my family helped me find in the town. But if that hadn't happened, I know 5 women of my age who've had to leave because there's just no rental opportunities. And they are going from house to house with family. I have sofa too, thank you. You can't stay in a caravan because you can't stay longer than 30 days. I was told there's a 5-year wait, and the very kind lady at the housing said, but you wouldn't want to live there anyway, sadly. So there are so many opportunities for us to do better and to help people. There are so many women that you are passing or talking to. I was finishing my weaving yesterday. Mine's the weaving on the wall. I was finishing it here, just past the cafe. I was finishing it here yesterday, and a woman came up and said her mother has just died, and so she now will be homeless because the house has to be sold because of probate. She has other siblings, and there will not be enough money to get another house. A man came up and was telling me about his mother, who was a proud MUTTI woman, and she had had to fight. He can speak language, but she had to fight all her life. And she actually fought for education for the kids as well. She wrote to the king, he was telling me, and the school got fixed. So you never know who you're going to meet, and you never know the opportunities that are going to come out of it. Thank you very much, everybody, for coming, and thank you so much for the kind words.
We've got three more women to speak for you, just so you know how much longer it'll be for you. And I hope that you are all still keen to stay to actually hear the rest of the women speak. I'd like to actually bring up Auntie Sonia if she'd like to come up.
Oh, thank you, Belinda. Thank you, everyone. I'd like to acknowledge country, Gadigal people of the Eora Nation, but I want to acknowledge my elder sister Dixie and my youngest sister Peter. I also want to acknowledge Mon, who's also a part of our family too. And Mon's been, she was catalyst for me entering the homelessness space, but in terms of work. What happened, worked for quite a number of years as an academic. I write as I do, and I've been a survivor of a lot of things, but mostly cancer and then the trauma. When I got very sick, my husband started to get very violent, and I was in a situation, the last bout of cancer I had, I woke up and I had problems walking, and I said to the doctor, oh, I can't walk. And he goes, oh, everyone does that after an operation. You just get physio and things will happen. I said, no, I really can't. So something did happen to me during my last surgery. But more importantly, when I woke up from surgery, I thought I was a rap artist. Delusional. That might be the anaesthetic. But more importantly, words. And words come different to me. I've written for a long time and quite published in some spaces, particularly around Indigenous women and entrepreneurship and around space. I write around women, my women around agency. And this is what MUTTI does, and Unseen and Breaking Silent Codes. They are both a vehicle and a platform for women to speak, to make sense of the words or make words, or to express creatively in many different arts. As you can see here, this exhibition is testimony to the manifestation of this agency. This opportunity, Belinda's very kind for me in allowing me to write, and I wrote a poem because I expressed how I felt in that moment when I started to write more freely other than business writing, because I was in a business school for a few decades and still am a part of it as a fellow. writing in a more organic form that expresses the words, because I know my sisters, my metaphysical one, metaphorically speaking, but also my sisters, but these things are important. And I was listening to a testimony, as you do, on TV, and someone was talking about the blood of the covenant. You know, they say blood is thicker than water. But, you know, as we know, the blood of the covenant is thicker than the water, the womb. So this means that we find sisterhood in friendship. We find sisterhood in those, not just who are blood sisters, but who also share experiences and, you know, are here to testify through their art, through their stories about their survival, their agencies and their ability to transform and to heal and to share these stories in meaningful ways that impact our life. We all remember when Obama came into government in USA, and he had his inaugural speech at a park in Chicago, and you might have remembered because Oprah was there crying in the crowd. But he spoke about people, us as human beings, standing on the arc of time, turning on the arc of justice, and how we can bend this arc to justice and social justice for our people. And that's what MUTTI does. That's what Unseen does, that's what Breaking Soul Code does. It stands on the arc of justice because it wants to bend it to serve justice to our people and to our women and our men who support us in a very powerful, transformative way. So they're my words. So thank you, Belinda, for allowing me to be part of this.
In the final two people that will speak, there are women who are in the exhibition, especially women who are culturally and linguistically diverse, who choose not to come up and speak, whose faces are anonymous, and yet they had the courage to present their artworks. And they are also symbolic of how difficult it is to share your testimony and to say your name to that piece of work. So we need to honour the women who are in the work, who have not been able to do that, and also the women who are not in the exhibition, who find validation and less isolation from participating. The final person I'd like to introduce you to is Lainey.
She loves this. This is her favourite part. Wow, I've got a mic. I like mics. Anyone that was that way so knows I love mics. First off, I want to acknowledge the land on which we meet, the land of Gadigal people and the Eora Nation. I'd like to pay respect to the elders past, present, future and emerging, and all my Aboriginal, non-Aboriginal, Torres Strait Islander brothers and sisters here today, and everyone here today. And thank you to Parliament for letting Unseen put this on. And all the artists here, you are so beautiful and so good, so great, and we're awesome women. And we stand strong together. Now, and now me. I didn't prepare any notes or anything because I forgot about today. It's like, yeah. Belinda rang me at the last minute and go, you come to Parliament? When? Today. What time? 1. Oh, yeah, maybe. Yeah, okay, I'll be there, I think. But I made it, and thank you for coming. You may see my artwork up on the wall there. I'm the one with the pretty face. And I'm the one that's doing my last story in London and a play. It's all very overwhelming. I want to say thank you to Belinda for helping me do this and getting everything organised, because I wasn't even sure if I'll be able to make it to here, because only 3 months ago I was in ICU. I had a mega lung infection, chest infection, asthma, and emphysema. So yeah, I was pretty cook. But because I was determined, and I'm a strong black woman, Aboriginal woman, and I want to be here to show everyone that nothing's going to keep me down. The journey I have had, throughout this experience has been absolutely amazing. I have missed a few outings with Unseen because of my health. I've been in and out of hospital quite a fair bit. But I'm fighting, I'm strong, and nothing's going to stop me from getting to Parliament, especially now, today. So I want to say thank you to everyone. And my last story is going to be about how my journey was about being homeless since I was 5 years old on the streets, abusive mother, where I came from, and yeah, how domestic violence is not an answer. You've got to respect each other, no matter what race or colour you are. We're all equal, we're all one. We all need to stand together and be strong. We don't need violence in our lives. It's not only women, it's men as well. It can go both ways. And being homeless, you don't know when it's going to happen to you. It can happen any day. It can happen tomorrow to you. So those people that look at us and go, oh, I feel sorry for you, don't feel sorry for us, help us. Stand beside us, be part of us, and say, hey, if we're not going to be able to help, at least stay there and say, hey, we're one, we're all. Because that's what makes the country strong. If we can't be strong, then what's the point of having a country united like Australia? Because Australia is so multicultural, and we all should be proud of who we are, no matter where we come from. And being homeless, I've seen so many racism. I still get it from today. I get it when I was in hospital. You know, I get it when I'm outside. I get it when I'm on my scooter, driving around. I get it everywhere. And people don't look at you straight in the eye because they're ashamed to look at you straight in the eye. And that's where it's got to stop. The country needs to stick together, and everyone needs to be proud of who they are. And if you can't do that, then don't let the door kick you in the ass on the way out. Oh, did I get And I want to just say thank you to everyone for coming. And don't forget, we have QR code, I can't even pronounce that word. Those square little things with little things on them. Yeah, one of them. Scan them, and don't be afraid to come up and talk to the women and find out our stories, because you'll be amazed on how diversity we are. We're just humans, we don't bite, and we all have feelings. So be proud of who we are and stand with us. Don't stand against us. Thank you.
And if you'd like to donate to Laney's play, on the blue poster at the start, there's a little QR code, and that'll help us get further along. And thank you to all of you who, when they bought their ticket, actually donated towards it, because you're really actually helping us. I was so surprised with how many people who actually pressed gave a donation towards it. So thank you very much. I'll leave you with the words of Riverbank Frank from Dubbo. Reconciliation can't be a government-driven process. It must come from the hearts and minds of the men and women of Australia. Thank you.